majority of the clients that we work with, they already have somewhat of a successful business. So we don't work with people that are literally just beginners. And so we follow, I know I'm giving a lot of frameworks and strategies here, but we follow something I call the smallest lever strategy, which is what is the simplest and easiest thing that we can do to grow your business, right? And I know that sounds simple, but once again, a majority of people are looking, they've been rewarded in the past for making things as complex as possible. And so they want to do more of it. And so instead of guessing, okay, this is what we should do. What we do is I know I'll say this till I die here, but we analyze the data. So if someone's saying, I have a show up rate problem, I have a close rate problem, we do exactly what I said a second ago. And we say, great, let's go back and look at the last, whatever data we can do, 10, 20, 30, 50, 100, 300 closes. And the great thing is you have ChatGPT now. I go through an insane amount of data through ChatGPT. And I essentially look at, of those people that closed, I reverse engineer their entire client journey. So who was the sales rep they spoke with? What was the sales script that they used? What was the pre-call sequence that they went through? What was the application answers that they did on the questions? What was the time frame from when they booked to when they show up? How long was the sales cycle? Was it a one-call close? Was it longer than that? What was the marketing message they saw before it? Was it a low ticket product, a video sales letter, a webinar? What traffic source did they come from? Was it ads? Was it YouTube? Was it Instagram? And so then once you identify, right, there's only so many, I named, I think 7 or 8 there. There's only so many different variables that you can get that are like the large variables. Once you identify what those are, then you just duplicate that over and over and over again. And you say, okay, great. So let's say, for example, that, let me give a great example here. You had said it a second ago, but calendar questions or application questions are one of the things that we work with the most, because most people, they're atrocious. Either they have way too many and they have like huge text boxes, which are like, you feel like you're in college trying to write a long form essay to book a call with you. People think like, oh, I have 100% close rate. It's because the only people that are booking are the people that are literally like, okay, I just want to buy from you. I have to go through this stupid process. And so they have way too many, or they have too few. It's just like name, email, phone number. And so they're packing their sales team's calendars, but they have a 10% close rate because, you're dealing with all these unqualified people. So then we pretty much just reverse engineer the process to be able to say, okay, the most qualified people we know for sure, without a doubt. Let me think for 1 second. What's a great example? Okay, I'll give you a great example. One of my clients in my mastermind, he had a really low show up rate, and it was like 30%. He had all these salespeople, and let's just say his business wasn't running the way he wanted it to run. And so he came to Miami. We did a VIP day together, and I did the same thing with him. We took all the data, we put it through ChatGPT, and one example we learned was, one of the questions was, how much do you know about high ticket sales? Because he was teaching people about how to become a remote closer. And it was like, no, first answer was, I don't know anything about high ticket sales. I'm like just getting started. The other one was like, I've heard about high ticket sales a few times before, and I want to learn more about it. And the other one was, I'm already a high ticket closer, or I'm an expert in high ticket sales. And we learned that if anybody answered the first question, they answered that first answer, which is, I don't know anything about it, I'm just learning about it. They had a 30% show up rate and a 3% close rate. Okay. And it's ironic because you'd think that people that, if he's teaching people, say, like, hey, here's how to be a high ticket closer, you'd think that the best people to get on the calls will be people that are just learning about high ticket sales. But in reality, I won't go into marketing too much, but their level of awareness was so unaware that sales process was going to be so much longer trying to teach them, oh, here's how to take it, versus the person that already knows somewhat about it and they just want to use your specific methodology. So we immediately removed anybody that answered that question. We took it off we canceled them off the calendar, and immediately he was able to lower his sales team to just his core 3 reps instead of having all these super crappy reps in there that are just there to fill calendar space. And all of a sudden, all of his marketing messaging, now we go back top of funnel ads and we start saying, hey, are you a high ticket closer or been thinking about high ticket sales, but blah, blah, blah. And so now we're only attracting people that have already considered that before. And so then we're just reverse engineering that whole process. And so we're taking the thing that we know by data leads to a lot of sales, and then we just keep on pushing it backwards in the funnel until the point that every single thing in the funnel is pretty much attracting and pushing through all the people that we know have the highest chance of booking, showing up, closing, and paying in full.
If you want my help installing any of these systems in your business done for you, be sure to book a call with my team down below.